Here at Lander WLG-TV, we have an inside look at the newest Greenwood art exhibit and its take on Black History Month.
Find out how recent big-name movies have been affecting Army recruitment in our exclusive interview with Sergeant Rusty Sims.
Later on, we'll also be updating you on the latest in Lander sports news. Stay tuned for Lander WLG-TV. Hello Bearcats and welcome to Lander WLG-TV, news by students for students. I'm Ashlyn.
And I'm Maya.
The Arts Center of Greenwood honored Black History Month with an exhibit called A New Face, Contemporary African American Art, which was sponsored by Eaton.
Black History Month is illustrated in numerous ways. The Arts Center of Greenwood honored Black History Month by displaying an exhibit that recognizes Black artists around the Carolinas.
It's called A New Face, African American Art. It is sponsored by Eaton, which is a local corporation in town.
The reception gallery talk was held on Friday at 4 p.m. The Greenwood community, along with Lander students, arrived to hear and meet two of the featured artists, Antoine Williams and William Paul Thomas. Williams' artwork is based on science fiction, his rural upbringing, and the hip-hop culture.
Mid to younger teens, I really got into rap music, hip-hop. I think that was the first time I saw how art was used, right? So my favorite rapper when I was younger was Biggie, the Notorious B.I.G.
Antoine Williams cited one of his favorite Black artists.
David Hammonds. He's a conceptual artist. He's been working since the 70s and he's still working today, but he does a lot of great, really conceptual pieces about social and racial issues.
Thomas' portraits explores the issue of race, identity, and commodity through his own personal narrative.
So when I think about my own background in terms of my socioeconomic status, I feel like I've been able to make a sort of a subtle transition because of education.
Antoine and William became friends while attending UNC, and you face contemporary African American art will remain open until February the 28th. I'm Noel Mackey, and this is WLG TV News.
American Sniper made a big splash in entertainment news when it received 6 Oscar nominations, including a nomination for Best Picture, and Hollywood isn't the only place it's been making waves. Reporter Wyatt Best interviewed Army recruiter Sergeant Rusty Sims on how the movie has affected his job.
The movie American Sniper seems to cause controversy in many topics today. Earlier I spoke with Sergeant Sims to get what his opinion was on the movie American Sniper.
I watched it as soon as it came out in the theater. I think it's a great movie. I think it's a pretty close depiction of Chris Kyle's life and his beliefs, the things that he thought were correct for this country.
The movie seems to be stirring up a big debate on how accurate the depictions were and if PTSD is really that severe.
As far as things like post-traumatic stress and all that other stuff, unfortunately they were really accurate. A lot of people struggle with things like that, post-traumatic stress disorder. It's a real deal, and it's more prominent now than it ever has been in the past. Right. So it's definitely something that's out there that raising awareness is going to help people get over it.
Sergeant Sims had a recruit earlier when we stopped by, but we were curious as to just how much the recruiting system has been affected.
The movie has actually impacted recruiting slightly in a negative manner. Just a little bit of the crazy stuff that went on in the movies. You know, some of the scenes were a little too realistic for a lot of people. It kind of turned some of them off for the military. Unfortunately, things like that are things that certain ones of us have to do, you know, sometimes.
We want to thank our veterans and people still in the service. If you're interested, be sure to check out American Sniper today.
So I haven't actually seen American Sniper.
I've seen it, and I can honestly say it makes it like known how much real it is. Like, I mean, it's very real. It's very, yeah.
The Greenwood, South Carolina area is under a winter storm warning from 4 p.m. this afternoon to 7 a.m. tomorrow. Greenwood can expect freezing rains with a chance of ice and sleet later on in the night. It's always important to be safe on the road, especially with a winter storm warning in effect. It's a good idea to just stay off the road when conditions are bad, but if you have to go out, here are a few tips for driving in icy weather. Accelerate and decelerate slowly. Applying the gas slowly to accelerate is the best method for regaining traction and avoiding skids. Don't try to get moving in a hurry, and take time to slow down for a stoplight. Remember, it takes longer to slow down on icy roads. Don't stop if you can avoid it. There's a big difference in the amount of inertia it takes to start moving from a full stop versus how much it takes to get moving while still rolling. If you can slow down enough to keep rolling until a traffic light changes, do it. Don't power up hills. Applying extra gas on snow-covered roads just starts your wheels spinning. Try to get a little inertia going before you reach the hill and let that inertia carry you to the top. As you reach the crest of the hill, reduce your speed and proceed downhill as slowly as possible. We hope that the weather doesn't get to the point that roads are unsafe, but if it does, we hope these tips help you stay safe and warm.
Here's sportscaster Justin Thompson with your latest Lander sports news.
Lander basketball is winding down as the men only have one game remaining. They boast an impressive record of 18-8 in a tough Peach Belt division. The ladies also have one game left and have been on an impressive run. They sit at 22-5 on the year. But move over basketball. Here comes the spring. Through 8 games, Lander softball is off to a slow start. They are currently at 3 wins and 5 losses with 33 runs scored. Next week, we will take another look at the fast-ending basketball season and preview the upcoming games for Lander baseball. Thanks for joining me for another week of Bearcat Sports News. Back to you, Maya.
Thank you, Justin. This week's weather has definitely taken a turn for the cold. The early weekdays started at a chilly 36 degrees and a low of 30. Tuesday brought in quite the snowstorm, which dropped a good bit of snow all around the city. For you snow lovers out there, we get another chance on Thursday when a large winter storm blows in during the evening. Temperatures are going to warm up by the end of the week, however, with a high of 44 and a low of 26 on Friday. Next Sunday gets even warmer with a high of 50.
So I really don't know what Mother Nature's doing.
I have no idea. I just want classes to be canceled, so please snow.
I think everybody wants classes canceled. The entertainment world is in quite a stir with the recent Oscars. We have Nicole Webb with all the latest buzz that you need to know.
This week in entertainment is all about the Oscars. As you know, the Oscars aired this past Sunday, hosted by Neil Patrick Harris, and there was a lot to be talked about. From the best and worst dress to that awkward moment with John Travolta. Let's talk. 50 Shades of Grey star Dakota Johnson killed it in a dazzling red crystal one-strap St. Laurent dress. And our worst dress star goes to Lady Gaga. The pop star wore a 3-piece custom-made Azzedine Alaya dress, accessorized with some very odd red gloves on the red carpet. These gloves inspired numerous memes of Gaga as a cleaning lady. Although her bounce-back game was strong with her pitch-perfect performance of The Sound of Music, paying homage to Academy Award-winning star Julia Andrews. Common and John Legend performed Glory from the movie Selma, which proved to be a highlight of the night. It brought on the biggest standing ovation, as well as tears from actors Chris Pine and David Oyelowo. Glory went on to win the Oscar for Best Original Song, a song that was written based on events that happened 50 years ago. But Legend pointed out that Selma is now, because the struggle for justice is now. Well said, Mr. Legend. Okay, so a lot of people were weirded out by John Travolta's touchy-feely antics with Let It Go singer Idina Menzel. Travolta, who at last year's Oscars butchered Idina's name, caressed her chin while pronouncing her name right this time around. While many thought it was weird, Travolta's rep claims it was all planned and all in good fun. And there you have it, just some of many moments at the 2015 Oscars. That's it for your entertainment news. I'm Nicole Webb.
The saying goes that the best way to prevent car theft is to drive a stick shift. National news puts that to the test recently when last Sunday, a thief broke into an unsuspecting car owner's vehicle and demanded that he be taken to a remote location. When the thief then kicked the car owner out and tried to drive off, he quickly found out that he couldn't drive the car because it was a stick shift. Police say that the thief then gave up, abandoned the car, and ran off. The owner, who was not harmed, quickly regained his vehicle and drove off.
I can't drive a stick shift.
I can't drive a stick shift either, so I guess that means that both of our cars are going to be stolen.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And that's today's Lander News.
Thank you for watching, and tune in next week for more WLG TV news by students for students.